Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone in the world you all are. It's your blue eye cuff gotcha whale, beginner artist self-proclaimed, and your boy Tosan. You welcome to the stream. For today, I will be drawing fan art of a Musume character, which is Manhattan Cafe. Currently, I would like to say one of my favorite characters in there. So I've always wanted to draw her, but I had like in the time when Musume was like out and everything, you know, I was like still in my drawing challenge of like, yeah, draw every Hololive member or something like that. So, but now that this is like done, I pretty much have like the time to like like draw whatever I like please, and Manhattan Cafe will be like one of those here. Can take like about average of like 2 hours, maybe if I'm really fast 1 hour, but I'm gonna like see how this will go like for each drawing. I've on the left some samples regarding some chibis, but when it comes to my actual, you know, like non-chibi drawings, it's like hit or miss. It's like always inconsistent like what I produce. It can be like the best thing ever, and sometimes it's like, yeah, okay, you know, like for a beginner artist like myself. Self-proclaimed, but yeah. I will be yapping in this time, so but at the same time you can like feel free to treat it like, oh, this stream where the artist doesn't talk, you know, just keep it in the background while I like do some work, and then see now every now and then like how the progress is like going, something like that, right? But yeah. I haven't like been able to like get too much into Track Blazer, like the new racing scenario, so I'm like kind of slacking with like dailies, finals, and then like doing the open league instead of like created league. Created league takes like too much time for me, I would say, to like train like really viable Umas, you know. And I think like it's just better if I go like all in open league there. Since like min-maxing is like a little bit easier there, and there's a ceiling actually regarding like what you can train, can't train. I wanted to like make Manhattan Cafe like usable, but even if I hit the recommended stats, like some of the skills, she doesn't really win consistently. Like in 10 tries she would like win once, but I want like something that can like work, you know, like in case my frontrunner start activating my Astro, I have like a backliner, but it doesn't really work out well unless it's like gold ship, because I have like the ultimate skill that helps you to get into position, you know. But with Manhattan Cafe it doesn't really work that well. Like it's always like a little bit too late to like be able to do straight away spurts and like the navigator, because she doesn't like move forward. It's like a little bit weird with using her. I must like say, even though I like her, using her like an open league scenario is like pretty restricting, because for like long races it's better like run an encloser, so I have to like retrain her to encloser, and then it takes a little bit of like points away regarding like the ceiling of like B rank. There were like in like other long CMs like scenarios, cases where this actually worked, like with the Endloser Manhattan Cafe, but it's still not easy. Talking like about the game, Musume got like the best mobile game award 2024. This was like kinda nice. But for 2025, I think like I'm out of the like regarding like 2035, you know, 2026. Regarding mobile game awards, I mean there was like Arknight's Enfield, like the talk, you know, but I think like a lot of people are like out of the honeymoon phase, and I'm like kind of like doubting if this can like even get the spot there, because you know, usually you do gacha on characters, you know, because for the gameplay as well, not only like waifu but also for the gameplay. Some are like limited, some are like, you know, unlimited, you know, like the standard banner. But if they're limited, then it must be really broken, good for something, you know, for the gameplay probably, you know, like there's SSRs and everything, like for combat, or they're like the best in this field, or like this best in this boss, you know, then get this character. But Wagner's Enfield, you know, the main gameplay really is like making stonks and the factory, you know, not really the battle part. And the battle part, I mean, you don't really need like super rare characters, right? So it's kind of like, you know, the thing, like, what are we pulling those characters even for, you know, like, if not for like the combat? Of course, people are gonna be like, yeah, for the waifus or husbandos, you know, but if there's gonna be a limited banner or something like out, I mean, yeah, there can be FOMO, but if it's not really like serving much support like the factory building or whatever, then yeah, doesn't really do much. I mean, you can automate the farms at some at an earlier point in the game, you know, that like runs automatically, that you can leave it AFK, come back, and then still have like some progress, you know, something like that. I didn't really get too much into like the factory building, since I was still stuck on like, I mean, like, I'm done with the tutorial kind of, so they can like move freely around, but still I need like more story progression in order to like really unlock everything regarding the factory building. And it's kind of like, I'm kind of fell out of love there already, you know, like I don't really have much time there. I was like able to keep like 2 weeks up, like with just doing dailies, you know, getting some pull currency, but it's so, it takes time, so much time to get from point A to B, and then yeah, of course there are the zip lines as well, but it takes a certain amount of like setup as well, and I don't have that much time to like do something there. There's a little bit of a ceiling, but it's like not as bad as like in Musume. In Musume, I think like the gameplay loop is like pretty good, but I haven't like got used to it on an open world gacha really, daily wise. If it's like a single player offline game, you know, where there's not really FOMO and stuff, then I guess like sure, can play that. But even when I like sat down for a session like on a Sunday, you know, played like 5 hours, still not far in, like it didn't really feel like I made much progress, you know, and like the writing's like not really like that good, I must like say. Musume is like a bit weird because while the writing can be like entertaining and good, you know, it's way too much. At the very least, they don't use like, they use like show don't tell, you know, for the most part. And when you got to the story mode, it's like really well done with the camera direction and everything. They actually know like how to do that. But if it comes to gameplay, man, it can be tedious, you know. Especially if you like try to like do open special league, you know, created league, and get like your S rank Umas or whatever they're in, and try to get like stonks like on like carrots, you know, like the pull currency. It takes like a lot of like time there, and RNG. I still haven't understood like track placer yet, really. I just like started off because of some dailies, but I feel I can and like some kind of limited rewards, like FOMO rewards, you know, like anniversary, and then it like expires in 3 weeks, so like now it's like about 2 weeks, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I might like lose those rewards, I think, and my goal is only like really to like get Chili that nice nature, Eloy Maya, and then, you know, with left over maybe like, okay, like some like Manhattan Cafe alts, you know, as well. I don't like see about like those things, you know, like I'm not too much of a sweat, you know. Open League is like good enough to get me like some income, you know, with like the 30 minutes sessions for your finals, you know, to get like something decent going on. And I follow there like a triple frontrunner like strat of like Suzuka, Duska, and like Kita-san Black. I got lucky to got her like the free pulls, and it works out. Like they catapult off from each other. But sometimes Suzuka can also like get the win because I got her 777, and for some reason this gives her like enough stamina to actually push forward and even like surpass, like even like you know, pass by my front runners, like other Umas that have like overtaken them. And she has no angling scheming or something, just like raw stats, some greens, groundwork, early lead. That's it, you know. Her ult is also like, okay, if she got the lead then that, but sometimes she doesn't even need that to like win, you know. You from the lead like activates so early, it's everything, but yeah. Game is like a little bit weird sometimes, you know. That you can also like lose even though stat-wise or skill-wise the Umas are so much stronger, but it's just like, oh, got blocked, you know, then yeah. Musume Astro didn't activate, and then okay, we don't have enough stamina for the final spurt. GG's, and then yeah. There were so many cases like that. Kind of frustrating, but like every day I get like about 2 losses, you know, from like in the 20 tries. But that's about it, you know. The Blue Archive, everything's like going fine for now. Like this game really like respects time, I would like say. Unless there's like thing like JFD or Total Assault, but even there it can be like done easily enough on like Torment, like from my account. Yeah, but if you're new, then yeah, stick to lower difficulties, like wait until you get like stronger like students, the right meta students, got like the materials to like level up, something like that, you know. Like they say like wait until you're stronger, but it's like always about numbers, and yeah, it's not always like true strength, I must like say. Especially if it comes like to anime, you know, that are like based on video games or something like Sword Art Online, you know. Like, I mean like SAO had potential that it like kind of wasted, you know, in the early Eki Kawahara phases, you know, from the offer. But this one like part, you know, that there's no really strength in SAO. It's all about numbers, you know. This is actually true, you know, like in video games. Like where he just stood there and then a group of guys were attacking with like swords or whatever, slashes, and he with his auto heal, you know, heals him back up, and they can't like deplete his HP bar because you know, auto is like way too good, something like that. And then you oh, you know. But yeah, it really is about numbers. And sometimes like dumb luck to win. The higher numbers, the higher chances to like not lose. But it's like not guaranteed to like win, you know. As long as it's not 100%, you can always like lose somehow. I guess like Musume can be somewhat fair, but at the same time, it can like, you know, like when you like check the reviews, you know, all so understandable like why there are like bad reviews in the first place, you know, because it takes so much time to play. The learning curve is like crazy. Idolmaster, I think like is a better game. Respects your time. I saw like they launched like an Idolmaster EN account on X, you know. Not really sure if this is really official, you know. They got like some facts wrong, but it was like on this day like April Fool's, so yeah, whatever, you know. I'm gonna like see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it sketch like with that Chibi, yeah. Regarding like Manhattan Cafe, why is she the favorite Uma of mine? Things like Ogara Yui, you know, her voice actor. Usually Ogara Yui like puts up all those moe voices, like really cute, you know, but here she's like has like a pretty deep voice, a little bit calming, you know, and there's like something I don't know. The knowledge that you know, the capability of like sounding really cute is like there, but even if not, you know, the character itself is like pretty caring, you know, like Manhattan Cafe. And just knowing, okay, this voice actor lended this character her voice. Like I'm like I have a voice fetish, you know. It's like how it works for me, like sometimes the favorite characters. But yeah. How it can work. But also like those characters that's constantly on attack mode, you know, like my Top Gun. Really flirty and so or like nice nature, I don't know. There's like something about her that's also like pretty nice. Like just playing the career mode and then seeing already the charm of them. Usually like if I play like the career of Uma the first time, I try not to like skip their events, you know. And like read what the writing, the text and everything has to offer. Even it can take like about 2 hours to like finish a career this way. But I'm not really sure, like, you know, like Steam version of Uma Musume is like pretty good for streamers, you know, but is a career in Uma Musume actually like stream friendly? I'm not really sure. Because like a lot of reading, a lot of like vision of the parts there. And let's say like vision novel wise, when I look at my channel, I have like some vision novel streams. Let's say like the performance are not necessarily like the highest, you know. I don't get like many, like just basing on that, you know. It's actually gameplay like people are interested in, or like something interactive, you know, where it's like more action rather than like, I don't know, turn-based, right? Or it's just like reading. Unless you're like there for a bad story, but I think like bad stories are like kind of outdated nowadays, right? For me, back in the days it was like, okay, I need like calming music to sleep, you know? But nowadays like it's just more like raw dogging or ASMR. I prefer like ASMR. To listen to ASMR to let me fall asleep. Like ear cleaning, you know, and whispering in your ear. Like mostly anime girls kind of setting. I like this kind of guy. Looks like more happy with that. You know, seeing Manhattan Cafe usually in really white clothes, like for a racing outfit, kinda makes me want more skin. Makes me want to see more skin. But the things also do not loot to Umas. But then hot spring events, then like, you know, trainer x Uma relationship kind of. Like even if you choose like female version of trainer, Maya-chan still like flirts with you like crazy. Oh, I'm a proper adult now. Let's spend some quality adult time together. You know. When someone's constantly on attack, at some point your defense at some point will crumble. If you do not really fight back, you know, no counter attacks at all. And sometimes like this cheerfulness, this flirtiness can like break some men's. Because those Umas are so young, you know. Yeah. It's a little bit weird with the Uma-verse, I must like say. But do not question it too much, you know, just enjoy the ride and then yeah. There it is. I mean, it's a good game. And some you don't have to take it seriously really, like when going through the career of like Manhattan Cafe, there are like a lot of like weird stuff in there, you know, like with with like dealing with supernatural stuff also, where there's like something of a ghost outside the door, then keep quiet, you know, and then she stays at your side, you know, the whole night until it's like morning. Hello interesting person. Hello tea keeper. Long time no see, I would like say. Welcome, welcome. I'm drawing here Manhattan Cafe from Musume, Pretty Derby. Got this game which got the Mobile Game Award 2025. Like last year, yes. Welcome, welcome. I'm drawing here a Chibi version of like Musume. And later on, I'd do like a little bit of a doodle with like non-chibi style. What month? 2025? It's not a month, it's a year. Like last year, Musume Pretty Derby got like a mobile game award also, like best mobile game last year. The Game Awards, have you heard of that? If you're a gamer, you probably have. Ah yes, let's go. Yeah, probably I don't like speak loud and clearly. I suppose. It's like one of my weaknesses, I suppose. But yeah, it's a decent game. It's just pretty in-depth, pretty lengthy, you know, but the girls are cute, so and out of all these characters in this roster, you will have at least one favorite, you know. I'm pretty unlucky with like the gacha in Manhattan Cafe. I had like to do 200 pulls to actually get her. Like I had to spark and then use the pity to like obtain yeah. And she's like a 3-star since then. But I think like I will not really like try to like limit break, you know, get like all the statues. I will not, since I think like I'm gonna play more on Open League rather than like something more advanced like Special League, where you have like to really like to waste a lot more time. There's like a certain game mode there, and you basically like grind to like make those horse girls like the best racer. And if you like done with the run, you can like save the character and use them like for like the tournament arcs of like Musume, you know, which is like limited events like every few months or like every month, like one time, something like that. And if you like win this tournament arc, you get like some cool in-game rewards like currency of like for doing my gacha, or like things that can help them level up, you know, or like support cards, something like that. And yeah, I'm like in this kind of phase where I'm like doing the beta version of the tournament arc rather than like the Giga Chat site, you know, like where you get a lot more rewards, you know, since I don't have much time. But it's like kind of cool that they allow you to do that. So it's basically like easy mode though, and then like for the hardcore gamers, like a tournament mode. We call that in this game like champion speed or so. And this is, yeah, the true PvP, because you race like against like other trainers, other players with their who have like their umas, you know, horse girls. And yeah, it's kind of like, you know, can be pretty tedious. Sometimes you have like trainers that are like pretty casual and say free win, but sometimes, you know, they're actually like some hardcore gamers that are sweating, you know, and it can be like a challenge. I want like enough of like those champion speeds, but I did like lost some as well. I think like about 2 I did lost, yeah. It's a bit of a setting, you know, horse racing. It's like a thing that's popular in Asia, Far East, and like sea. Like some parts of like America as well, the US. But there's like something cool about that, I must like say. Also like France, yeah. The stories of like those racehorses, you know, like the Musume are like based on. It's like really anime actually. Can be pretty inspirational. Like that some animals have like this kind of history. Some of them are the horse girls, you know, like some of the horses, the girls are like based on as they're alive, and some are not, you know. Actually like interesting to like look into the history on like what have they done to like make it into this game. Okay, they are a racehorse, you know, but why exactly? Well, some of them are like pretty famous, you know, some have like some cool history, some might be like the best racehorses ever, you know, in like respective country or like era as well, because the thing is like with age as well, you know, there's a certain age where you're like perfect physically at their peak, and then as you get older, your physical peak is like dropping, you know, and they have like this kind of like 3-year period or so where they're like you know, in top form, and afterwards it's like, okay, retirement. And some of the horses like Gold Chip, you know, are still alive and like kicking. And when they diagnosed like Gold Chip, it was kind of like, yo, Gold Chip is still like perfectly healthy, you know, and they didn't really give 100% in all their races, you know, kind of like holding back, you know, only use like 10% of their power, so and still like kicked ass. Some like when they like really tried, you know, then they would like actually like dominate. Gold Chip is like, I don't know, all this Gold Chip now. Like not like 20 or so, maybe like 10 or so, 12, not really sure. But this horse is gonna still like live like on in the future. The beginning, just like Dot of Horse are like haha funny, you know, they make like funny faces and such, but when there's actually like, some story to them, you know, it's actually like impressive, you know. I must like say, it's not really like about dogs, the best friend of the of humans, you know, or like cats, like where we like watch cute cat videos or like some funny ones. It really is like about man respect kind of, you know. And actually, horses are useful to humans the whole time, but there's also like the racing history, and then yeah, actually interesting, like how they can be actually heroes. It's like actually a sport, and then like the anime kind of depicted like really well, like the perspective of like sports, you know, the rivalry, like some other like ones. But let's say I'm not really like horse expert, you know. Sometimes I'm like be interested in like watching like some videos to that, but then that's like all I really know. But I heard like enough of people like who actually got into the horse racing itself, you know. Like actually they like went there to a race course and then like bet on a horse or so, or like at least like watched it as well. And yeah, it's like pretty nice to like see that a video game actually like supports like, you know, more or less like this whole kind of thing. That this game is actually like a good thing, you know. Not only like there to like fill their own pockets, but actually like, you know, there's a give and take, you know, something like that. There are like enough like companies who are like pretty egoistic, you know. Of course, companies are like built to like make profit, you know, so they can't like be Robin Hoods really, who like, you know, support the poor people, do like things for the right, like do the righteous thing. But actually, you know, there has to be like something like of a goal, but also like make sure you can also like survive while pursuing like the good thing. There are like enough like, I don't know, like how the future of that will like be, because the leader of Cygames, you know, what was he called? KMR? Yeah, KMR-san, Kimura, I think, like KMR-sama, did retire to spot as the leader or so, and then now someone else is there. And I'm not really sure like if this will be that awesome, you know, like with Nintendo for example, like when Iwata-san you know, passed away, and then new leader, and then from there on, I don't know, like it lost its charm somehow. It looks like they're all like, yeah, okay, you want to make money, yeah, okay, but kind of like, you know, in the gaming industry, Nintendo doesn't look so attractive anymore. I'm still like thinking about, is a Switch 2 really worth it? They will like rise the prices, they're like thinking about that because the RAM prices are like getting really high. And the Switch 2 is already expensive, like enough. I guess I like draw here, but I'm also like a gamer, and I would like to like in my lifetime like get access to like some cool games. Like whenever like something's trending, would like to see like what's about. Split Edition 33, I think like I'm not too worried about like missing out, since of course I will not be like able to talk with people like like in here now, but at some point you can like look into it and be like, okay, understand your point of view. Actually it's pretty good, something like that. I saw like, how it's called, Pokopia, and then like a lot of like fan arts regarding like Pokemon on like Twitter, like where they're like Gijinkas of like Gijinka, like human versions of like Pokemon, that you see like a beautiful girl based on like a Pikachu that is like white, has like droopy ears or so, or like Bulbasaur that's like a Gyare or so. And I didn't really understand what it was like about, but then I saw like something of a German tweet, and then no, why did they do my little baby so dirty? And then it was like this Plusle, like a really cute looking Pokemon based on Pikachu, and that's like speaking like Gen Z slang or so. And then it's like, okay, that's what it's about. And then those Gijinkas are like Bulbasaur being a Gyare, it's like, yeah, Bulbasaur talks like a Gyare in this game. And then it's like, okay, yeah, that's like why they're like fan art like this there. And then there's also like a reference in the anime, like Pokemon, where there's like this Hercule bug kind of Pokemon, forgot the name, that's kind of like, trying to eat Bulbasaur also, or like sucking on something. Like on Bulbasaur there's like something on their back, like a flower that can like open up, like where you can like shoot seeds or like your solar beam, and there's like the spot where like want to suck on like this bug Pokemon. And there were like also like fan art like that, where actually like this bug Pokemon is like trying to suck on Gyare Bulbasaurs, like the human version, like on something. Not really sure if it's like, I can't really quite remember, but it was kind of like, yeah, it's suggestive, but yeah, it's like kind of interesting, like when there's like something worthwhile out there, game, meme, video, film also, and when there's like fan art, it's like always like great. Like Chainsaw Man, I saw like all those memes like nowadays. Thank you, Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man? The title drop. Yeah, because you always fight with a chainsaw. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, something like that. I'm not really sure, like I haven't like seen the ending, but maybe it might have been the ending, like you ended on Death Note, kind of. It would be like kind of like, it's not the worst, but also like, yeah, kind of funny, like pretty much Fujimoto. Thank you, Musume Pretty Derby. Musume Pretty Derby? Yeah, I mean, because you're Musume and you are Pretty Derby. Oh yeah. I think like the terminology with Darby also, it has something to do with like that's eligible for like 3-year-olds, Umas also, horses. Because there's like something about the peak of the body also. And this is like where they compete. There's also like things like training involved and so. But the thing is also like regarding peak and then retirement at some point, like there's like kind of like health bar regarding those horses also. Like their build, their body's like built to like run, you know, and really fast. But the thing is like with their body structure, skeleton and everything, they're so fragile. Like it's basically like that their legs are like out of class. And if they like trip or so, then in the race horse history, there's like certain death. Some famous racehorses had to be euthanized after they got like into a really bad accident. But if you're lucky enough, you know, to notice before the race, hey, something's not right, you know, I feel like, look how they walk, maybe like if the leg is something off, you know, when there's like splinter or something like that, and while nothing might happen like during a race, it could like get worse over time, you know, like because the legs, like they're like basically made of glass, you know, and if there's like a crack and then they overexert themselves like in a 3,200 meter race or whatever, it can like get, the crack might get like bigger and bigger, and then some point it will break. If it happens like during a race where they're like sprints, like pushing themselves to 200% or so, and when it breaks down this moment, it can like lead to death. Also for the jockey maybe. Like horses are pretty fast, you know, like if you get in a car crash and let's say the car has like traveled 30 km per hour, you're already dead, you know, you can't do anything. Like even in the car itself, you know, if you haven't like put on your safety belt, if the car like drives 30 km per hour, which is like not really fast, like actually like for the driver itself. But if you're not like, if you don't have the safety belt on, then you do like a sudden stop and then like you get fling forward, you know, then yeah, you might be dead, you know. It's also like for the person who gets like actually like ran over by a car like driving the speed. Now it already hurts like if you hit your toe on like the bed, the edge of the bed or so. And you're not even like that fast, you know. Not even 10 km per hour, so maybe like 1 or so, I don't know. But it can already hurt. If you run, it hurts even more. What if it's like the speed of a car, you know, then yeah, you might be dead, you know. Or your arm is broken, your leg is broken, whatever, you know. And like in the sense of like Musume, you know, when like horses in general, yeah, it's like pretty interesting like how they like convert this into like a story that would like make sense in Musume, you know, like translating it as them being like anime girls running. But very different from like horses, you know, they're like they have a human body that can heal, you know, they can have like some cast over their broken bone, and they can sit, they can rest, you know. But horses, they cannot really like walk on 3 legs, have like a, I don't know, a wheelchair or so. They can't really do that because the body's like really weirdly built. Like they weigh like several tons, you know. And balancing all this weight on like 4 legs makes them work. They can survive with that. But if one of the legs are broken, you know, then yeah, fuck, you know. Okay, GG's. we have to euthanize you, you know? Something like that. It's like kind of like, yeah. The design is like really awful. How long am I in? 45 minutes. I kind of like only work the white line weights. Shit. Okay. Okay then color. And then I call it quits. Calling quits is like with Chibi, I would like say, like basic color, or like done, and then I tried in a non-Chibi style. Like the thing that actually drew me to Mahata Cafe, you know, is like the aura she had, like black, jet black, like horse, kind of beautiful. And they had like a really big resemblance to like a famous racehorse like Sunday Silence or so. That they would like use Mahata Cafe like the real life horse like for the model, you know. The only difference was like, I don't know, maybe like one white spot like somewhere on the body. Like fur, how you call it. But it was like such a small difference that really mattered, and then yeah, you're gonna be a photo model at a cafe, and then yeah. Because when you like do storytelling in TV or like documentation, you need like some photos here and there for the attention span also, or like to be able to like you know, you tell something and then you show like something with context, you know, like a picture or like a video also. Like it's pretty important like in storytelling to give context, to be able to like do a show don't tell. Like the less you have to explain, the better, you know. They can keep the documentation or like the video, whatever, like short enough, like that it like fits the runtime on TV. This can like cost money as well, you know. But for YouTube, you know, you can do as much as you want, but the thing is also like the attention span, the pacing, that you don't exceed like certain amount of time because time is precious, you know, like in today's life. Yeah, they like goes a lot in that kind of content creation. And if they don't get like the direct material because okay, this racehorse is dead, then let's do something like a doodle, and then oh, this horse is like perfect, then yeah. You could also have a doodle, you know, like someone who looks similar to you. I think it's like somewhere on your identification card or so, there's a number or so, like they're like, it depends like which identification card, ID card, you know. Like in the bottom there must be like something like a number, then oh, like 15 people look like similar to you, something like that, you know. That you have like actually some doppelgangers like in the world. They might have a different voice than you, but looks wise or like the facial structure might be really similar, you know. Like everyone has like some of their clones. And it's like, yeah, my evil twin brother, you know. It was not me who did it, was my evil twin brother. Like those kind of excuses, you know. I'm sorry, the dog ate my homework. I'm sorry, the cat like shredded to pieces, and then I've proven it. What the hell? Yeah, my line art is not really clean, so there will be empty spots. I try to apply the bucket. But yeah, I'm playing like Musume like pretty casually for now. I don't really try hard like on those Trackblazer or like those CMs. Since all my pulls are like around like Oshi pulls, you know, like focus around that. I gotta throw my favorite Uma or like, oh, I like this Uma, I like this design, then let's pull there. With Meiji Pride, you know, I was kind of like tempted because this Uma looked like really prim and proper, you know, pretty say-so, like an idol, you know. I was like, ah. But yeah, I think like I'm gonna look into like, at the same time would be like curious to like check the story of Meiji Pride, you know, can I vibe really with it? Is it only like the looks, or is this like also like, you know, the story personality that can like justify, okay, it's gonna be my new queen, I don't know. You only have like to outside to look at. At the same time, you know, like side games usually, like when there's a new character out, like in Musume, you can read the event story for episodes, like get a little bit of a sneak peek on like them. If you like them, okay, well maybe I do the gacha, you know, something like that. Actually, I like this idea. I actually have to like look into her event story, you know, like the bond story, how it's called, Blue Archive. And then, yeah, again, I make the judgment on like if I actually want to. Like with Rise Shower, for example, I think like I checked her event story, but the thing is like her banner wasn't out at that time, so I'm gonna use the selector for Rise Shower. Yeah, was not the best choice regarding meta, but I didn't care about that. I was kind of thinking, man, Rise Shower cute, you know, but it was not the first impression. Also, I saw like a gamer in my archive club, you know, that like oftentimes like Rise Shower profile pictures and like even change their name to Rise Shower and be like, okay, maybe this character's like pretty precious. I gotta try to look into why they rock the profile picture name like all the time, and I was like, okay, I see you, and then yeah. It was just something like that, you know, it's actually something like curiosity. Rise Shower really is a wonderful daughter material. I mean, like, yeah, that Musume, you know, or horse daughters. We raised them to be successful. And there's like something really rewarding in that process, you know? Like, you are a dad or so, or like a mom, whatever. And then you lead them to success. But also like be idols, you know, perform on stage. But this is also like the thing in Idol Master or something like that, you know. TBH, I like Idol Master a lot more as a game. Even though I could only play the Japanese versions. Like maybe like a patch like here and there. I heard like there was a patch for Gakko and Idol Master, but I only played on Japanese so far. Kinda like, yeah, okay. With Gakko, with like Idol Master shiny colors, so like shiny moss, I was like able to like play with an English patch, you know. And was pretty good actually. Like I could like what I did like for the most part is like, okay, career playthrough, I'm gonna look at your career, your story, etc. Like slash that and like see what you're about, and then okay, I like you. For me, the hook was like Higuchi Madoka, you know, something about that she was like difficult to train. It's like a really, I don't know, cold personality, like really snappy and so. But if you like put in the effort to train her, lead to successes, you know, then you're a really good trainer. You're a good, really good producer, something like that. And I really wanted to like get to this payoff, you know. And I kind of thought, man, actually a pretty attractive Madoka-chan. And yeah, she was kind of the hook for me to get into like Idolmaster Shiny Colors. Like, I like the art style there, especially. But when I look like the other girls, I'd be like, oh gosh, they look also great too. Like Sakuragi Mano, you know, like the main girl of like Shiny Colors. I think like a little bit, you know, I think like a little bit of a weakness with like really, really polite girls, you know, something like that. Like untainted, really innocent, you know. And this is perfect idol material. Something like that. Need to protect, or I'm gonna be the one to take it, if like, so that no one else can take it, or something like that. But yeah, I'm not looking in really. Doesn't really need much focus. Yeah, I like to keep it like simplistic with the colors. You can get like pretty crazy in depth. You can like make the best illustrations ever. But I always was like drawn to like the kind of manga style. Like the way like with like really soft brushes, you know, and then like try to create something with that. If you do the color, it can like really like great. If this has like some kind of acrylic kind of touch, you know. But I think like I'm more of a painter if it comes like to coloring. If I'm gonna color like properly, no, not really. Like if it's chibi, I'm like fine with like doing flat colors, you know, everything. Like keeping flat and simple, you know. But if it's like an actual character, you know, like look like an anime girl also, then I'm like more tempted to like try like something more than flat colors, or maybe lighting. I actually would like try to like do something painting wise, even though I haven't like looked at any tutorials really regarding that. But I'm like actually tempted, and maybe like change up the style, like how I draw anime eyes, like if I color, you know. like there's for me a certain pride as an artist, you know, especially because I'm a guy. There's like a little bit more of like the pridefulness in there. Like we have some honor in there, you know, as boys, which can like be pretty counterproductive sometimes, you know, but it's like sometimes a good thing that can keep us like thrive like alive or so. The determination, something like that, right? How is it that you're like able to draw so well? Determination. You know, something like that. How are you able to like turn a battle against like so many opponents? Determination. You know, it sounds cooler, I suppose. To like say something edgy. And just like, oh yeah, I know, I just did that, you know, to be humble. I don't know. I mean, it can also be cool to like sound humble and be like, oh, that was not that like difficult, you know, but you say like, yo, I did this and that, you know, it was thanks to this product Coca-Cola that I was able to make it, you know, so you should also drink Coca-Cola. I don't know. You know, like doing this random ad placement. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but yeah. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I think like there are a lot of like celebrities who like do something like that, like with the ad placement. Buy my product for, it's like available for 69, 70, 67, 77 or something like that, you know. $67.67 available under this price. Buy now, limited stock, something like that. I think like if there gonna be meme videos out there, I think like some people would like be tempted to like add that, you know. Usually it was like 69, it was like the hee hee ha ha, but you know, I can imagine like that you're gonna like do something like that. You know, Squid Games, you know, something like that. You put yourself into the Squid Game and you have like, okay, number 67, you know, but yeah, 67, I'm here. Oh gosh, yeah. It's gonna be like that, I suppose. Oh no, you again. Please kill this guy. Let me blush. As long as she gets to drink coffee, she happy. The thing for me is like I do not drink coffee, you know. If she gonna offer me, I think like I can drink it, but I'm not really like, I do not need it, you know. I do like the smell though. It's kind of funny, like the best coffee, you know, is like beans that have like been shit out by a cat or so. It's the best coffee. I saw something like that on TV and I was like, yeah. But it's like also interesting like that other coffee enjoyers also like heard about this other same thing. So if you want the best coffee in the world, know that it's like made of like cat shit, you know? But yeah. It consists of cat poop. Oh, well, it's not really cat poop itself, but you know, they ate some beans and then they shat that thing out. and if you like secure the beans out from this piling, from this from that shit, you know, then you got like the best coffee. But it's not from any random house pet, it's like from a wild cat or so. And then they're like people like kind of track them. Maybe they got a microchip on like some of the cats, you know, like brought them to the vet at some point, microchip implant, and then then they can like follow them like that. Like if you give them like how it's called, the collar, you know, the thing around their neck, then it can like be like a little bit of a it can be a safety hazard, you know, like they get stuck somewhere, like when they like try to like climb and like sneak around the wilderness, and then like they get like, you know, they're like not really that competent, not really that strong enough to like get rid of the collar like that, even if it has like a breakaway safety. Okay, I'm like done with that one. Gonna leave my signature, I suppose. And then I'm gonna try for a real, like with a doodle. So how long it will take? Like about 1 hour. It was pretty fast with this Manhattan Cafe. Save. はい。セーブしました。I don't need the transparent background. So... I think I'm gonna place Manhattan Cafe below. Yep, here. And now I'm gonna open like a new thing. Maybe like a little bit wider. So, Manhattan Cafe is done, like one. Now I'm gonna do like something different. This was pretty quick actually, like with the Chibi. Usually it can take me about 2 hours, but I kinda was yapping and I was in the flow, I suppose. Let's see. I think for this one I might like do the canvas like a little bit small. Let's see. Not really consistent regarding that. I think I'm gonna go like for soft brush. Sketching first and then afterwards try like from what do I draw? A bit like a close up to the face and her looking at in your direction. I would like not do like a doki doki blush expression or so, maybe like, you know, just looking in that direction, just this kind of photo shoot moment. You know, like in the beginning of a new era, like this movie, you know, of Musume, like made by Games Studio. Like they have an in-house studio, you know, Games. There was like this one shot where she did turn her head around like to look at like Takian or so, and she was kind of like dead inside, something like that. I don't have like the reference, but I think like I'm gonna try off my memory, you know, regarding that one. Yeah, maybe put her in a racer outfit. I don't know, this goes hard. She got like the trip. Usually she has like those wide open eyes, you know. But I think, I don't know, like how I'm gonna draw this here. Maybe a little bit tired. Really big eyes? I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Well, some of the eyes are like covered by the hair. I might not be able to like draw everything. That's to that. Do I do only one layer? I'm not really sure if I can. I really do that. It's like a lot more free flow if I do like on one layer, like Rakugaki, you know, just a doodle. It's like not in the sense of like, you know, Japanese artist draws like Mona Lisa, like masterpiece, and then calls like, oh, just a sketch, you know. Like this Japanese meme. But my art is like pretty inconsistent. Sometimes, like if I do not draw Chibi, I'm pretty inconsistent actually. I'm very inconsistent. I cannot guarantee like, for the quality. Maybe that's like why I don't accept commissions. If I can like keep it a sketch, you know, I can leave it like low effort because I can burn out, and so I think that's fine. I like those Chibis, emotes and so. And if it comes like to actually like those kind of like drawings, you know, I keep it to myself. I can share it, of course. This is like the thing, but I cannot really do commissions, you know. I tried it like one time. I was like, I don't really like it. It was kind of solid, but it's not really like result I was like happy with or so. So yeah. I assume like the hair is like something like that. And on this side there's there's like one ear. But a lot of like it's like covered because I do like the close-up shot. A lot is covered. I'm not really sure about the angle, like how the ears are positioned in that case. But yeah, it's not really important. The thing is, like, it's not always like the quality that's important, but like the pacing, art direction also, in my eyes, I think. Like even if some things are technically incorrect, as long as it goes hard, you know, in some kind of way, like regarding direction or on pacing, then yeah, it's good enough, you know. It's like how Attack on Titan did work out, even though the artist like Isayama sensei, you know, wasn't really like a great artist, you know, even if their drawings were not really good. The pacing was like good enough, you know, like to make it like enjoyable read, you know. Then yeah, like story is also important, but it's like, and you could just write a like a book, you know, rather than like a manga. So yeah, they're like things that have like something to do with that. I'm gonna look like side view from Manhattan Cafe. There's a little bit of a character sheet there, but of a 3D, not the drawn one. But there was like a lot of like 2D illustrations of like the Musume characters, you know, from the official one. And how Manhattan Cafe looked like there went really hard. It was like a little bit of a painting style, like how she has been like illustrated. I kind of liked how hard it went like there. Like from head to toe like black, and then she would like stare at you, those yellow eyes. While having a smile on her face, you know. Like, she looks like dark and everything, but she's actually pretty friendly and approachable. But she can like get pretty tired and, you know, something like that. Like of Takion and so. And the scene in the States kind of like, man, I don't know. Beginning of a new era. Animations were like pretty good, but man. Also like the themes, you know, the story it's tried to tell. Competition. That someone who has beaten you might retire the next time, you know, and then you have like this kind of dilemma. It might not be, you know, Tokai Teo's story, but still like something that happened in history. Jungle Pocket. Yeah. And then Manhattan Cafe had like a really bad constitution, you know. Like, their body just declines, you know. Like, also they're really vulnerable. In the career of like the Musume, you know, the game, this kind of like thing got like rewritten also, where she wouldn't like go to America also, and then get like to the part where her body just constantly declines, like from going race into race. That actually like this girl could have been a gem, you know, or like this male horse. Like Manhattan Cafe is a male horse. The kind of details, like how you can tell male or like female, is like something about the ear accessories, you know, like where's it positioned. Left ear, I think. Nee, right ear? Right ear is like male, left ear is female, yeah. Man. Okay, it kinda goes hard. The more and more I like add lines, like line weight and so. And also like random other lines. Hair can be like fun to draw actually. I think like I need like a little bit of a point different. So regarding like where the hair falling towards, or like yeah, something like that. Point of perspective. There's the Auge. Okay, something goes hard about the sketch. But yeah, my art is pretty inconsistent, you know. As long as I do not draw chibi, it gets inconsistent. I cannot guarantee like for the quality. Always. But it can be like fun if I like get to like those kind of like drawings. But the thing is like, whenever I draw like this style, my characters usually do not smile. Like the characters I draw do not smile. And people like always ask, you know, like some adults, you know, they go like from my sketchbook also be like, yo, those drawings are fire, but they look also sad and not smiling, you know. And then the next page I flip in, they see like some chibis like, yeah, yeah, and full of energy, and then, oh, okay, I feel like you got the good phases of your life or so, man. I mean, it really depends. Like, I do like the little bit of badass vibes, or like, maybe it's not badass, you know, if you look like sad and everything, but maybe like, you know, those vibes of like the loneliness and, or that you feel tired, or like the darkness, you know, it's like consuming you, and like those kinds of themes. For Mahata Kavi, it's like more like the occult stuff, supernaturalism, rather than like, you know, stand back, I'm gonna orb or so. But still, you know, it's like something that draws me in Mikane here. And she's so calm, so nice, you know. Yeah. Wanted to hang out. Maybe I can like enough carrots to like actually get her alt as well. She's like in a New Year's outfit or like kimono, something like that. Something like Japanese style. And usually like her race outfit is like something westernish. So like seeing her in something Japanese would be like cool. I would like say. Oh, can I actually color in this style? Not really good at coloring in this style, I must like say. I would have to learn like how to draw like painting wise actually. But I do not know of any tutorials. I need to like look at things like internet is like really useful if you like just want to inform yourself, you know, like about some stuff. Like internet has like everything. That's your best friend there. Not necessarily Google, but you know what I mean. When you have the tools, then just look for it, you know. But do not ask ChatGPT, I would like say. Like I would not rely on like AI regarding like art, I would like say. Like if you just need something quickly done, you know, for you, or like something explained in layman's terms, you know, I suppose it's like good enough. But if you like want to learn something, do not ask the AI. Like you don't ask the hammer, like a tool, like, hey, how do I do that, you know? Like how to tool, like how to draw, so like assistance, but yeah, do not use it to learn something. It's good like doing and like completing solving tasks. They see a problem and then they use their best way they know like to solve that issue. Oh, just use AI. Yeah, thanks man. No. Nah. I find a little bit like, a little bit, What do I do with the mouth? I wonder. Like slightly open. Slightly open. Okay, around here I can erase. Not really sure like how I shade this. I think this can suffice. Oh, it doesn't move. Okay, now it move. Sometimes this pen stops working. Maybe I need like a new pencil tip. Pencil nib. I haven't like switched it like in years. It's like pretty durable. I think that yeah, at some point I need like a replacement. I've not figured out like how to do it yet. Maybe I do like give her the race square outfit. I don't know. I draw like from memory, I would like say. Made it like rather than like giving her her race fit. Those are race track boots. That's it. I should delete that. I'm gonna keep as many lines I've like previously drawn in there as possible. Like when I erase it, like the impact goes away. So and no race thingy. I'm gonna keep it like that here. Gonna check the reference regarding what it looks like from the side. Okay, something like that. Yeah, the hair's in the way, so maybe not. yeah, whatever. Regarding the hair, maybe like something more dynamic, I would say. Like if she tilts her head like this way. Imagine like hair flying this direction. And I need this point of reference, you know? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just a Rakugaki, you know. I need to like experiment a little bit here and there, like level up a little bit. Like draw like weekly, you know. I don't have like always like opportunities. And the release, you know, weekly is like something I can like fit into my schedule. I would like to draw more. Good. Draw from memory here. Gosh. Regarding like some stuff. Like I have a little bit of a character sheet there, but I couldn't have drawn Mahara Cafe like the Chibi version otherwise, like with colors. Yeah, I will not color this one. I need to learn how to like paint like regarding colors. Like not like flat colors, but actually like painting. I need to learn that. But it is okay, I think. Like it goes hard somewhere. Like there's some rawness to it. It's not perfect, but there's like something raw. The rawness is still in there. How long does it took? Like I think like I did like in 30 minutes or so, yeah. Within 30 minutes so far. Yeah, let's keep it like that. A little bit of shading also, a little bit of like, yeah, a little bit of that I can do. I do by a hand. Like around here it should be darker. Other points like brighter. I need to keep the rawness. I can't like erase. For this I just... I'm not sure. Some things can be added, but shouldn't like to do too much. Well, it's like dirty, it's raw, but it's like what I want to keep. More or less. At some point I can like keep it like intentional, like the dirtiness, and still can look like really clean somehow, even though it's dirty. But I don't know how to explain it really, but you know, like some mistakes you like keep them there because it's more charming. I don't know. But yeah, you don't like draw 6 fingers or so, or like another arm or another leg. Hands hurts a little. Okay. I'm trying one-handed. Let me do it again. I like the eyes, but the only one layer. I'm an idiot. バカだね。ですよ。I'm doing this a little bit bigger, I'd say. I really stopped like tangenting, I would like say. It's me when I focus. I don't really notice that I like switch back to German like some point. German dude here, by the way. We like bratwurst and beer. Kind of cliche for us. We're not the tea enjoyers or like croissant eaters. But we do like produce really good bread. My favorite bread, you know, like maybe like Japanese like call like bread pan, right? Pan. My favorite pan is like no pan. A pan. Bread is like actually pretty good, like Germany. Like in Japan, it's like not as like it's like a lot like soft and sweet-ish, you know, like fuwa. Rather than like something like filling, like something that has crispiness, you know, like baguette, something like that, you know. Like a lot of like that things like missing, like you like look for like really good bread like Germany. But if you go like to France, the things they like do really good like with like those thing in the bakery, it's like croissant. I think there was like for a long while like this croissant kind of like thing. Where you like right with a Q, you know, croissant. I would like try to like a croissant. Croissant. I think like okay. Now I have like to think about the trick. The trick was I just do. Like some parts have to be darker, some parts I need to keep lighter. And then what is it? This, and then a little bit bright around. Werde Licht. Let there be light. Cariare. You can see that in many ways. Cannot shade. Maybe I can like do, but the things like most I can like I do know is like with a ball. We live with a living creature. Ball. Bola. Yeah, I think like in Spanish they say like bola or like ball. There's one thing I know because I do follow the Smash scene a little bit, and there's the play in Spain, and every time like he does like his main is Dark Samus, you know, then he would be like Bola or so. This is like his whole play. Hello, how do I read this? Savory? Welcome to the stream. I'm drawing here at a cafe. I'm like done with the chibi part. I did it for 1 hour. You see that like here in the bottom left. And now I'm kind of like doodling like Manhattan Cafe like this style. Welcome. I'm like about to rip out. I'm like honest, but you know, kind of like experimenting around, like trying to like get back in form regarding like drawing this kind of way. Like no colors here. It's just like a little bit of a rakugaki, like a doodle, like for fun and for the love of the character, and that's about it. But yeah, you can like expect something like this in the future if you're like ever gonna come by. I will be talking if I like stream like on a tangent, like probably like something totally different like at some point, but you will be entertained if you keep it in the background, you know. I think like with art streams, like it's like recommended like keep it in the background, like do some work, and yeah, and you will see some results naturally. Okay, let me see. Maybe I can only color her eyes, huh? Let's check. I need only like one tone of like color. Usually I do not want to color, but actually I remember there was like something about that, like black and white like drawings, you know, and then they have like only the eyes like colored also. There was something about that kind of approach. And I can add that. Yeah, maybe something like this, I don't know. Maybe something like this. So you only like render the eyes really. Now let me try. I think around here a little bit. There's been a time that I actually drew like this on stream. Actually like last week, but maybe not last week, this was a different style. I don't know. Like flat colors, not really, like, doesn't really work on my usual anime character style. Well, I'm still making an artist, self-proclaimed. But yeah, as long as you have fun, it's all good. So this shall be the only color. Maybe she has like this here. No, let's keep only the eyes only. Yeah, let's keep on the eyes. Rakugaki. I would say. Okay, I kind of yapped like here and there, tangented, but this was like done within 30-40 minutes. Not so bad, I would say. Imashita yo. This is why I just like talk normally here and there. But in any case, that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. I think next week, I'm not sure what I'm gonna draw. Like someone asked, hey, Mario Top Gun, but I don't know, like when I draw like this, it's like out of like, I don't know, some kind of loneliness inside me, something like dark. I had to grab like from deep within. And then they're not really smiling and everything, like, yeah, like here. But in any case, yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a nice rest of the day, evening, good night. Whatever time zone in the world you all are, with that I'm gonna say, bye bye.